just followed the Madsen St. Alyssa style of drafting, you get roped into captaining less than a day before the draft. Somehow you get 2 5Ks, and then you go to playoffs. That's the plan this season. But like in all honesty, I was hoping to get DNM, but I mean, it's pretty reasonable for Vinyl to take him. Past there, I was looking at like Hish and Yoda as well. I thought one of those two would make it to there, but then I realized that Big Malacca was Longoria, and I don't think other people noticed that. So I got kind of lucky. From there, I just kind of drafted the highest MMR that looked like that had a reasonable player statement.
Okay, I mean that's solid strategy. You did end up picking like a pretty high offlaner too, which is rare in RD2L, I think, because usually people go for like these lower skill offlaners. Was Death by Pudding somebody you looked at before?
No, the drafts kind of started to get really out there towards like even starting at pick 3. Like all of my picks were getting reached for super hard. So I was just like looking, essentially just scrambling through the list and just like, all right, these players have reasonable Dota buffs and reasonable player statement. So I'm just gonna pick the one that's highest on the sheet that meets those criteria.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the fact that I was Legend 2 at the start of draft, so I was tanked the MMR team average down enough that I was able to get a reasonably early third pick too.
Okay, yeah, that usually helps out.
He's got a regen rune. The blink not quite up. He's gonna run into 3-0. Skip gotta be careful. Out comes the clock, but he has no more mana. Where is the stun from Vexio? Is dropping in the middle. This Loco is doing so much damage to Witch Doctor. You can't find.
Damn.
Double kill.
We kind of talked a little bit about Skip in the 2 games he played, Invoker and Tiny. That's right, he played middle Tiny. Not as big of a win the second game, of course, but Invoker was a really strong showing for him. You also let him draft as well, which I thought was clever. Was that kind of the plan you had going in?
Yeah. So I'm not a very good Dota 2 player. I know this. The reason like I was looking at someone who was scrimming for NACDL or something like that, where they would actually like scrim by themselves outside of kind of the party, and Skip really fit the ticket there because he was trying to qualify for whatever that North America. It's like the BSJ league or something. I can't remember, but it's like this it's like a whole bunch of like semi-pro teams, and he's the drafter for their team. So I mean, I am not as good as that drafter as he is, so it's pretty natural to just say, hey, draft. And he's communicative enough in the draft to say, like, don't pick me, Jakiro, don't pick our other support player, like a Chen or something that we can't play. And he understands those things, so it's
Just
pretty
going
good.
to miss. Thought I hit the hair. Matador is going to go for the Q. Right on this, Matador might be able to get this kill. He does miss the roll initially. Out comes the center off, but it's right behind him. He's shooting into the road pit. But he got killed by running. The rush isn't doing enough damage. The Dark Willow's going to be able to finish him off with the right click. Matador doing quite a bit of space making with this stun here, but not enough. They're still going to lose the Zeus. Death by putting another blink into the Sunstrike. Perfectly placed from Skip.
Tiny like 2-shots your spiders. With Centaur, at the very least, you have to like, he has to cast double edge to kill it, right?
Yeah. And you just can't ever hit them or
deny clicking on the allies.
I think he might be just baiting the Witch Doctor over here. Witch Doctor could.
What's going on? I'm not really watching this lane super hard, but that's the only way you really die is we just don't have Scoochie up, right?
Dip is falling really low mid. He gets the top. Oh my god.
Talk about Omdad a little bit. Picking even post nerfs, I was kind of surprised you guys picked up Willow in the first game. Was that some comfort pick there, or just discussion?
It wasn't actually a comfort pick. We talked about it after our first scrim on Thursday, I think. Like what everybody wanted to pick up. I wanted to pick up Silencer. He wanted to pick up Willow, And like even post nerf, we thought it was. We looked at it, and we talked to a couple Willow players, and we still think it's like just like a top tier hero, even post nerfs. The nerfs don't affect the play. It like kind of tones the solo kill potential down a little bit, but it's still just an insane amount of control and an insane amount of damage in a team fight.
Yeah, he definitely had some ridiculous plays in there, some 3-man fears that helped you guys out. So I assume that's like a hero you guys are gonna look to in the future then.
Yeah, he really took to the hero. He likes that hero a lot. So we'll probably just like pick it whenever he's playing with us.
You can try and find depth footing. He's actually so tanky right now. He's going for that hard ult is up if he wants to use it. Out comes the fear on to 3. Omdad is making the plays. Matador gonna get stunned up, but I don't think they can really initiate back in.
He's gonna go stun, and then he's not gonna die. So yeah, look at this.
2-man stun, that's a good start. The fear incoming onto 3 again. How many times has he done that? And he's gonna drop. So is Ohana. Matador trying to get away from this. The ult not gonna be able to come out. The Yules is there into the stun. 3 kills in the mid lane. 2-man stun from Death by Pudding, securing that for them. And then Omdad, the madman, another 3-man fear.
Let's talk about Death by Pudding. I think the shining star of both games, if I say so myself.
Yeah, that's we all recognize that too. Is what is it? The first game he had like a 27-minute heart on top of Blink Pipe. You know, when that happens, something's gone wrong, and not on our side. And then he kind of kept us in the game against that Broodmother, because honestly, the Broodmother felt like we got outdrafted a little bit, because like Snow talked about it on whatever show he does, and he thought we lost that game because he's like, oh yeah, just they last pick Brood into 4 good lanes. Guess you'll lose, but we didn't lose, so.
Yeah.
You know, if it looks that bad on paper, we still were able to win, and I think it's a lot to do with like having a 15-second cooldown Ravage, you know.
For sure. Ziffer, of course, after the games too, said something like he played pretty much no fear, was able to be really aggressive and confident in hitting his stuns, and that seemed to pay off really well.
Yeah, it's I'm expecting that here to get like first phase banned against us all the time now.
Do you think like he goes on playing more, initiating space making heroes for you guys then?
Oh, almost certainly. Almost certainly.
They're going to try and go on Spectre again. He's not exactly tanky yet. He does have the blade. We'll see if he gets it on the top. The stun strike is on point, but the creeps were there to block some of the damage. For them, they're trying to rotate over. They got the smoke coming up. I think their initiation of this is the Matador roll, but they're not going to hit it in time. Actually, they're going to get it. Death by Pudding is so low. How comes the Spectre also? The Longo is going to be able to pop BKB. He does also get the Aegis and the last hit, but all the heroes are so low on Gradient. They do get the kill into 2 of them. The Aegis is gone. Zeus picking up another kill onto the Dark Willow, but Skip is still up. He just gets almost killed by Matador. Envy's gonna drop now. Spectre killed in the middle of that. Matador having to run away from this now. He has another Q. I don't know if they're able to get this. Longo does have the stun if he wants to go for it, but he goes right into the Centaur.
Damn.
Well, this game's slowly just falling out of control from the beginning. 18k gold lead now. His TP bottom, he sees him, but he doesn't cancel the TP. Spectre getting gone on. He has the Q to get away from this. No, he doesn't, but he still should be able to just run away. Death by Pudding Centaur popping the ult to get on top of him. The stun coming up, but there is the day. The Sunstrike is on point.
That was insane.
He stopped moving.
You hold it for like 2 seconds longer than it should be, and then the other team has time to react and stuff, and the Necro gets caught in a bad position, and then, you know, roll over.
Stun out onto Weaver. They find it. The crit from Longo.
How?
We'll cover your other, I believe your 6-player Chaotic. Played the second game as a Lich. Had a pretty awesome team fight Lich ult. I forget, it was like the 30-minute mark. I think you guys...
Is he going to be able to get away? The clock is running in. He doesn't have hook. He does have cogs up. He has the wand for it. Out comes an Envy. He's running right into this big spider. Doesn't have the Manta or anything. He doesn't have TP. In comes Skip though. They're going to try to get the top of the red road. Not going to get the kill. triple kill to Chaotic.
Holy shit.
They lose Longo, but triple kill the Lich.
What a fucking chain frost.
Yeah, he had like 2 or 3 good ones that
Oh
game.
yeah.
Tiny, not both. And then they can do a room to time lapse, and then, you know, their combo will work.
All this stuff. The Cox is gonna push that by putting back. I think this is what you want. The CMO is hitting up Skip. The K on Necro. That's gonna be enough. I don't know what saves it, but it doesn't kill him. Ohana is gonna drop to the Lich on too long ago.
Might have been the pipe.
Falling out of control. We did see the buyback from Chaotic though, so he does have the ult if they want to defend against it.
Chaotic actually got a Necro site there. Start of the fight. Shit.
Yeah, out comes the Lich ult. They're gonna try and kill Skip off, but again, it's not enough damage. Longo maybe trying to turn this. He gets a stun. Out onto the Necro. This is cute. They don't kill off Skip. Ohana is trying to dive for it, but not gonna happen.
I think he works well with Death by Pudding because Longoria and Skip are fairly busy. So what happens is that, and same with OM Dad, he's kind of busy too. So what'll happen is that like Chaotic, myself, and Death by Pudding will all pub together a lot. And so what ends up happening is Death by Pudding will play in the off lane, I'll play in the safe lane, and then Chaotic will play with Death by Pudding in the off lane. So they play a lot together, and that's kind of our lineup as well, and our practice games as well, when we just play with ourselves.
Right here, they get the top back. That's Ohana just dead for this fight, and you're already looking at a 4v1 now.
Right.
They don't have the hook to initiate into this.
So right now, Weaver is mostly on par with how much net worth you want him to have.
Oh no, he's gonna die right at the beginning of this, and the Lich Ult is just doing so much damage. Matador barely gets the time off. It's gonna get one more time, but Keg also gonna drop the buyback for first. Probably not gonna be enough. He's trying to kill out the Witch Doctor, but the stun from Longo is gonna be way too much at the dive back.
Longoria, also known Big Malacca this season, played with Melofox as the carry last season, had a really great regular season, kind of struggled in the playoffs, but 2 really good showings again, playing as Monkey King and Jug, game 1, game 2. Seems to sort of play by himself a lot of these games. Being able to farm by himself is a strength of his, but in lane, you guys also looked really good. What does the communication look like? Who is making the calls when you and Longoria are playing?
Well, I'm very like a bloodthirsty maniac. I'll be like, "Can we kill this man?" And he will just have to say no. And when he says yes, I go. So I'm just always looking for opportunities to kill someone. And the Big Malacca has got my leech and says like, "Not yet, not yet." And that's how I go like 0-13 on heroes sometimes.
Going to be for a while.
Here he goes.
Oh, Invoker's coming to back him up.
Yeah. Oh, he misses the slow though. I don't think it's gonna matter. There's no mana. Yep.
See ya.
Exploded. The time lapse does go off. He also has enough for the Shikuchi to get away. Now Skip, you're the one in the wrong position. Goes for the TP out. The hook, not quite there. He was actually getting gone on by Longo in the back. The blade or the basher is enough to stop that.
That and hardware problems, but
Oh yeah, I heard about that actually, reading through, I believe it was Shizo's post about your keyboard problems. Do you want to elaborate?
oh, I have this issue with my keyboard that I get sometimes either double inputs or sometimes no inputs, and I'm playing with a dollar store mouse because
Jesus, dude.
I'm waiting for Razer to send me a new Naga mouse. So I'm just kind of like mega gimped, so to speak.
No, that sounds physically painful to play with.
Yeah, I've smoked a number of times by accident and TP to like base because I hit like the double input on the TP quick cast. And so I've had to finagle all my item slots and stuff so that I can just like put TPs in the non-quick cast slot. And a lot of inventory management that shouldn't be necessary.
Any thoughts on this season in general? I assume you're pretty optimistic about it being #1 rated in Badger's rating.
Yeah, that was the aggregate rating, I think.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just Badger that put us up there. But I think like I don't know, I think like I kind of cheesed the draft a bit, where I like got very lucky with my offlane pick, and also got very lucky that Longoria wasn't recognized in the draft. So in that sense, like if you get lucky twice in the draft, you're probably very advantaged going into the season. So I'm optimistic that I'll make playoffs again for a 3rd time. So I'm excited for that.
Hopefully make a deep run as well.
Yeah, be the burning light for EST Sunday.
All right.
Longoria is gonna have and Skip will have some heavy carrying to do.
Okay. We probably also have a decent sized patch coming up, hopefully within the next couple months. Is there anything on your wish list for that?
First thing, please bring back tri-lanes, Mr. Ice Frog. I would like to be able to keep offlaners to level 1 until 6 minutes again. That was very fun for me. And also, Grimstroke Captain's Mode, please.
Now we're just gonna move on to Dota Buff Quiz, of course, the funnest part, everybody's favorite part of the interview process.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, they don't have it in job interviews. Otherwise, I'd probably pass more.
Same though, same.
All right. So redhq, assuming
Yeah.
you know what's going on, I'm guessing you do. Assuming you've done no research, which I'm guessing you haven't.
That is correct.
What we are ready to jump off. There are some more complicated questions. I tried to pull some from like previous episodes that I thought were good. So hopefully we got some good ones in here.
Okay.
First question. What is the most assists you've gotten in a game, and what hero did you do it with?
Like 36 Spectre. That's just like a guess.
It is Spectre. And do you want to try again on the amount?
Am I high or low?
You are low.
43.
That was too high that time. 41. But within 2 for 40, that's less than about 5%. So we'll give you that one.
Nice.
Solid performance so far. Next, we just got a new hero, as you may know, Grimstroke. Do you know how many games you've played so far with him, and what your win rate is with him?
It's got to be like 45% in 14 games.
So the win rate, you were super close. Your win rate is 47.62%. Your games is 21.
Okay.
So,
I spammed that hero a lot more than I thought.
I've noticed that. You played a ton.
That hero's very fun. The nerf is like pretty significant. I thought it was a buff, but it is a nerf.
Okay.
The change to Ink
Yeah, I think it needs whatever. No more complaining about Grimstroke. Not.
No, he's still OP. It's just I can't have to stop feeding.
For sure. Question number 3. Where does he sit on your heroes list in terms of games played?
21 games. He's got to be like down there at like 25, 26.
Little bit lower than that. I'll give you a second go on that one. You were close.
31?
32.
Oh, there we go.
Although it might be 33 because I miscounted. But either way, very close. Because of miscounting and because of number errors, that one's close enough. We'll give it to you. Let's do question number 4. This is a fun one. When was your first Dota match?
Let's see. I'm going to guess 2014 May.
You did play a year before that. Couple of months before, actually. Hold on. I have the months and date messed up. November 3rd, 2013 is your first match. So a little bit before 2014.
Okay, yeah, no. That makes sense.
Which I think is like the same time that I started, if I remember correctly.
And here we are.
Oh yeah. It's been what, 5 years? Jesus Christ. You have 2 heroes with more than two matches played at 100% win rate. Can you guess those 2 heroes and how many matches?
Only 2.
Oh, and in esports, I forgot to mention that.
Okay, because I'm like, there's a lot of heroes with a 100% win rate that I've played like 3 games on. It's got to be Sand King. No, Sand King's got 75% win rate.
That's not one of them.
Last time.
So technically, you're
that's
right
not
there.
one. Yeah, that's not one of them. More than 2, hey?
More than 2, yeah, because everybody's won 100% with like 1 game.
But I'm like pretty sure I only played 4 heroes in RD2L.
Witch Doctor, you've played a
I'm gonna
ton of
guess-
games, but that's not one of them.
It's got to be Ancient Apparition with
That's-
like 3
That's
matches.
one of them with 2 matches, but it's good.
Disruptor 3 matches.
You played this hero 4 times in esports matches.
Well, that doesn't help. Is it like Avenge?
It's I don't know a good clue to give to you that wouldn't just give it away. Vanilla Acoustic plays it a ton.
Crystal
Got
Maiden.
it.
Got him.
So you
Oh, I forgot to play that hero too.
you just have an undiscovered talent. You gotta stop picking Witch Doctor. You picked it last series too. Just play some CM, dude.
I'm sorry. People are like, hey, what does Red play? Oh, the gold hero. The level 12 hero. Level 12 Dota Plus hero.
The gold hero.
A big shout out to actually Mellowflux for like helping me with the draft and captaining a bit. He's sort of been like my mentor, even though he's not in like RD2L anymore. But I ask him for advice a lot, and he's always helpful.